We're at New York Comic Con with two of the stars of Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. It is Kevin Porter, sorry, and Ciera Foster. I knew I was going to mess that one up. It's very similar names.
Well, Derek's actually very tall as well.
All right, so you're playing Armstrong and you're playing Livewire. So first question is always the easiest. Is just how'd you got, as a part of the project?
Well, I've worked with Bat and the Sun for I guess about 13 years now. I was their primary Batman, and I was kind of grandfathered in. So, and luckily they had a character that I physically fit, which was perfect. So I was there.
And how about yourself?
I also worked with Bat and the Sun. I did a cameo as Storm in an amazing episode coming up, and I got the call to audition for Livewire, and the rest is history.
So, Bat in the Sun with the superhero showdown fights, tons of action, lots of, kung fu, all sorts of stuff. Were you actually go out and do that yourselves, or did you have people stand in for you, a little combo?
There's a specific term we call kick-buttedness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
So we, what they did is they sent us through a course on kick-buttery.
Yeah.
And so I did all of my fighting, and I know that she.
Yeah.
You
You
train-
can look up that term in the Urban Dictionary, by the way.
Kick-buttery.
If not, we'll
Kick-buttery.
put it in there.
Absolutely. Yes.
I like
Yeah.
that. So for you're playing Armstrong, you're playing Livewire. Like, who are the actual characters to you? Like, not who you're playing, but how do you see the characters?
To me, Livewire is all about integrity. She's tough as nails, but she stands for justice, and she will take you out.
The thing I like about Armstrong is he's a spark plug. A lot of energy. He's loud. He's boisterous, and if you know me, that's pretty close to who I am, and a bit of a drunkard.
It was a stretch,
was a
especially
stretch.
I was about to say,
the
did you get to
drunkard
drink?
part.
The beard was the hardest part.
What was the budget for the actual liquor for this?
Well, we didn't actually drink liquor in it. It was
He's
beer.
being
So you go
modest.
meth.
It was beer.
I was gonna say he's a method. Exactly. Yeah,
It
exactly.
was root beer.
Yeah, it was.
Sure, for the kids.
Yes.
All right, so obviously you're playing superheroes. For you, like, how's it feel to actually get in costumes? You've done Batman, you've done Storm. It's got to kind of feel like living a childhood dream, right?
Anytime that I put the suit on and then I pass a camera or a mirror, I look and it's surprising. And the guys at Bat in the Sun and the guys at Valiant, their attention to detail is impeccable. And so by the time we're camera ready and we have the suit on and we've got the beard and she's got the hair and everything's on, you literally lose yourself in the character.
Yeah. It's more than a suit. I mean, there's so much detail that Valiant put into it. Dinesh and Joshua, they came down. The owners of Valiant, they came down, the directors, and they were into every little nuance, every detail. And by the time it got to time to put on our suits, we were more than ready. And we weren't actors anymore. We are the characters. We are Livewire and Armstrong.
Did you know the characters before doing this?
I'm going to say I was familiar with them, but I didn't know them as intimately as I do. Valiant, being a collector, Valiant has always had an amazing name in the quality of the stories. I was more of course, a Bloodshot fan, X-Men Manowar fan. I had seen Armstrong, but the more that I learned about the character, the more I was just honored that they chose me to portray him.
I was familiar with Valiant prior, but not in depth. And I was not familiar with Livewire. And when I read about Livewire, I absolutely just fell in love with Livewire. There's literally a folder on my laptop of just Livewire because she's such an incredible character, especially being so progressive for the time that Livewire was written to be an African-American woman lead, of unity. That kicks butt. And again, I have to say, we'll take you out. It was amazing, and it's so thrilling. And I'm humbled to represent Valiant that they would write such a character in such a time.
So you've both done movies, you've done television, and this is a web series. I mean, it's a movie condensed into a web series. Is there a difference when it comes to actually creating the content?
Absolutely, and we talk about this a lot. This is the first time these characters have been portrayed live action, and so that's a huge responsibility, and it's not anything that's lost on us.
No.
Because we take so much care. We spend a lot of time with Josh. We spend a lot of time with the creators and the owners of the property, because this is literally the first time that anyone's going to see Livewire or Armstrong speak and walk across the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't wake up as ourselves and say, oh, how do I talk? How do I walk? And we want to give an authentic representation of the characters, and that's why it's so important to actually be the characters. So to answer your question, for a live action series, I think you have to be more on point, because it's not like you go to the movie and you just see it. You can replay it. And the great thing about our Comic-Con fans, they do that. So it's a very, very authentic process doing live action.
With it being a web series, is there anything different that you do either as acting or filming, because it's on maybe a smaller screen than like a television or a movie?
Not to me, honestly. Just being true to the character, being true to yourself, the performance. It's all the same, and it doesn't matter if it's projected up on 80 feet or if you're watching it on your phone. A good performance stands alone.
Yeah, I agree.
So you've mentioned this is the first time the character's portrayed live action. Any pressure?
Honestly, I'm going to say I bring it. Yeah, because people are going to bring their interpretations. You know, Armstrong doesn't look like this. Livewire, but no, Armstrong looks like this. And so you have to own it. You have to have so much swagger to it. And basically, we're setting the bar on what Livewire and Armstrong are going to be. So, yeah, there's pressure, but, you know, I say bring it. I'm excited.
Yeah. I also have to say that this might sound a little biased, but Valiant and Bat in the Sun did a very good job with the casting, and we embody the characters. So for us, we just have to do the truth of the scene, and everything else I feel like falls into place, because it's not like anybody that sees us as the characters, they identify us with the comic book. So hats off to the exceptional casting by Bat in the Sun.
There's a moment, and we had this conversation. We trust the director, and we trust the owners of the brand, because it's this right there. We're protecting that brand, and so with every scene, and I'm Armstrong, and I finish the scene, and you wait for notes from the director, but I would always have a little eye over at Josh or Dinesh, and if they're smiling,
Yeah.
I feel like I nailed it,
Yeah.
because to me, everything is about protecting the integrity of the character and the brand, and that's what they're on set to do. So I listen to Aaron and I listen to Sean, and they're awesome. And then I look over, and if Josh and Dinesh are smiling, I know everything is good.
Yeah. And I also have to add that we are comic book fans. I mean, if you look at our cast, everybody's well versed in this genre, and everybody loves it. It's their passion. So when you're enjoying what you do, there's already authenticity to it that you just can't you can't fake, frankly.
So how long has the actually project been worked on? I mean, this kind of was teased, and then kind of this part of it just came out of the blue.
Gosh, I think that I auditioned almost a year ago, close to a year ago. I think it was probably October, November. I know there was a Comic-Con going on at some point. There's always one. And so at that point, I remember the guy said, okay, grow a beard and gain 40 pounds.
I was about to ask you about the weight. That was going to be the
Yes,
question.
grow a beard and gain 40 pounds. I'm 6'5", I'm about 240 now. When we shot, I was about 270, and I was carrying a lot of weight. And normally that's a bad thing, and I carry it in my face. But when you look at the character, you look at the pictures, and you're like, dang, I really look like Armstrong. In some ways, that's not a great thing. But for the integrity of the character, you just got to take the hit, and you got to put that weight on. You got to eat those donuts. It's terrible.
You gotta drink that beer.
You got to drink that
You
beer.
have. Someone has to do it. It's tough. I didn't drink the beer. I had to get very buff very quickly.
I suffer for the art. I suffer for the craft. And for Valiant,
Yeah.
I will drink those milkshakes, and I will eat those French fries with chili and cheese.
I think this is the first time in casting history I had a very different experience. I was at a pool party, which I never do. I had just wrapped something for Hulu, and so I get a call. It was from Sean of Bat in the Sun, and he goes, it was from Aaron, and he goes, hey, I have this thing. I can't tell you what it is. I said, oh, okay. He said, but I need to know if you're available. I said, yes, because it's Bat in the Sun. You just say yes, right? And then you talk to your managers afterwards. So long story short, I ended up finding out that I needed to gain a decent amount of muscle in 6 days. So there was a lot of muscle milk. There was a lot of interval training. Luckily for me, I have a history in athletics. I was a basketball player for 11 years. And I do martial arts. But I was not eating donuts nor beer. I was drinking lots of water and drinking milk.
She wasn't suffering for the art.
Don't take, I just,
She was not suffering for the art.
He sacrificed a lot.
I was going to ask about that, because I think of you, you're a really big guy, and character's not all that built. He's more have some weight.
I like to say he's hiding his muscularity.
There we go.
He's hiding it. Let's go with that. Yes.
That
It's in
word
there.
is also an Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
You can look muscularity.
Yes, he's hiding it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be too intimidating. Okay, so he hides behind his beard. He hides behind his padding, what we would like to call it.
It's modest. That's his internal monologue. He's like, you know what? I'm just too good looking and strong. I gotta cover this up. It's just too much. And
Can't have it all.
Selfless.
I'm so intelligent. I
Yeah.
can't be intelligent and jacked.
Yeah.
And handsome and all of that.
No.
No. It's all
No.
It's all for the team.
It was, I had to just get really, really buff and be very serious all the time.
So it's versus the Valiant Universe. I'm guessing there's a little action going on. We don't know specifics of
Are you
series.
asking if there's a little tay-to-tay, a little hand-to-hand, a little head-to-head?
A little hint as to what we could expect.
There's a lot of fighting throughout it. Who's fighting who? We're not at liberty to discuss. I will tell you this, that she and I do not tangle. We do not tangle.
I wouldn't even do that to him.
No.
I mean, Livewire would not do that to Armstrong.
No, she wouldn't.
No.
I've been. My character's been around a long time, and will be around a lot longer. So I don't want to step on her toes. This is right. This is her parade.
Right. I like to lead by not attacking my team. So as a leader.
And a smart woman.
Yeah.
And a smart woman.
Right. But there is some live action, and I think that the fans just have to figure out who's fighting who.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks for all your
Thank you
support.
so much. We appreciate
Nice
you.
meeting you too.
Nice to meet you.